Everyone, it's Melissa. Thanks for joining me for the first installment of Taking the Wheel Wednesdays, which is a mini vlog that I wanted to take us through the end of 2018 to just share information and inspiration with just common kind of topics and questions and things that people ask when I'm out in the community and doing workshops, my current clients, friends, people through direct message. I know that if one person has a particular question or concern about something, there's typically someone else out there that might be thinking the same thing. And so I just wanted to provide this information in a different way. I also want the videos to just be kind of short, and because of that, that means that I can include everything on a particular topic. So what I want from you is if after a video or a Taking the Wheel Wednesdays topic, there's something that wasn't covered that you have more questions about, or as you listen to it and something else comes to mind, I want you to comment or I want you to send me a message, because I also want to effectively respond to the additional questions and kind of conversation that is created through this series as well. So let's get started for today. Our first session and topic is, what is coaching and how is it different from counseling? And so for full transparency, for people that don't know, I'm a therapist and I own a private practice called Goal Driven Counseling. That was actually my first business. And with Goal Driven Counseling, we support teens and millennials through navigating challenging mental health concerns, in addition to education, career, and life transitions completely online through secure video conferencing. From that, the coaching business was born because there surfaced a particular population of people who weren't interested in counseling services at the time. They had very kind of short and kind of direct challenges that they wanted some support through, and they didn't feel it necessary or needed to engage in a full-on counseling or therapeutic relationship. And so from there, the coaching side was born. I'll talk a little bit more about just what that is. And that's how goal-driven coaching was developed, though. And so the question kind of arose with, as myself, I'm a clinical social worker and a counselor, with someone who has a counseling and a therapy background. How does that differ from me as a coach in my coaching business? Like, what's the difference, and how do you designate the two? And so I mentioned already that with counseling, it's a little bit more of an in-depth, and what we would really like is to be a little bit of a long-term relationship. And so kind of at the shortest time frame, I would say, is about 3 to 6 months is probably the shortest that we will want to see in a therapeutic relationship with someone, because it takes time to do assessments, to build rapport, to gather and gain enough information. And that conversation is kind of continuous, and information continues to kind of build on itself as we navigate that journey together. And so having full time and understanding, again, that assessment, creating treatment goals that determine how are we going to navigate this therapeutic journey? What is it that we want to see, and what are we working on? It takes time. And so with that, it's a little bit more long-term. And with counseling, we definitely meet our clients where they are, which means that we don't push too hard to have a client go through a mental and emotional journey that they're not quite ready to go through. And so understanding mental and emotional challenges, understanding and kind of processing through any cognitive patterns and identifying what might need to be shifted and learned, understanding and learning coping techniques and ways to effectively navigate the goals and things that our clients want to see on a counseling side is something that's a little bit more slower paced, and it's directed by the client. So with coaching, essentially a client comes with a particular concern or challenge or goal that they want help achieving. And on the coaching side, there is more work in immediately identifying, clarifying, and executing those action steps. And so the coach typically has a framework that they work from, that they have researched and know works best for the clientele that they work with. And so with the counseling side, where we kind of meet clients where they are, we do the same with coaching, but we immediately get into a solution focused and action directed realm, where we are challenging our clients to kind of instantly change some actions and some steps that they're doing so that they can see and attain the goals that they have for themselves. Coaching is absolutely about accountability, about direction, about support and guidance that is, again, a little bit more forward and directive, whereas counseling is a little bit more laid back with the client. And so I hope that clarified some questions on how do I know the differences between counseling and coaching. There is a thin line. So if after this you're like, I don't really understand the difference, it is a very thin line. With counseling, though, we want to make sure that we are focusing on mental health challenges. We're meeting clients where they are. We're using evidence-based approaches to help through that therapeutic journey and continually building rapport and relationship with that particular client. On the coaching side, it's a lot more action focused. There may not be a long-term relationship with coaching, and it may be very short-term. A lot of times coaches are using their own frameworks that they've researched and kind of put together that works best for the clientele that they work with. And again, it's a lot more about accountability, action-driven, and a little bit more forward on that side. So if there are any questions that you still have when it comes to coaching versus counseling, please comment, please direct message. I would love to engage and try to answer your questions even more as we continue this journey to having these open conversations on these Wednesday afternoons. And I just thank you for joining me again. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks.